I know what midlife women want. I know what they're going to go through. I know how their skin is going to change. So what I want them to do is have something for them. I don't want to say,
Welcome back to our channel. Today we have a special guest with us, someone who is not only the founder and curator of a unique award-winning beauty subscription service, but also an ex-beauty PR professional with over 20 years experience, an award-winning beauty blogger, and the author of The Time of Your Life, the ultimate woman's guide to living midlife brilliantly. He's a visionary in catering the needs of women over 40. Please join me in welcoming the incredible Karen Davis, the mastermind behind TOYL.
what a lovely welcome. Thank you, Severine. That was really lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome. To kick things off, Karen, can you share the inspiration behind creating TOYL and what motivated you to focus specifically on the beauty box for women over 40?
Well, I think it's quite the story. So I was a beauty PR for 20 years and I loved my job, Severine. I absolutely loved it. If I say so myself, I was pretty good at it. So I had my own beauty PR agency, and the kind of clients I had were people like Tweezerman and OPI. So quite well-known names in the beauty world. And it was a small agency, and I had it, my sons were small, but it was never going to be a huge agency because I live in West Sussex. All the press, probably to this day, mostly takes place in London. And so to go into London when you've got small children and to get back in time to put them to bed, very challenging. And I wasn't so driven by work. I didn't see the point in having children and not taking them to school and putting them to bed. I didn't see the point. So it was a good little agency. It paid me a nice wage. It was never going to be meteoric. And I loved it. And then what happened was there started to be the change towards social media. And I just didn't understand it at all. I was queen of print. And so the kind of journalists I dealt with were people like Nadine Baggott, who is very well known. She's got a really great YouTube channel. Sandra Steinher, who used to be head of the Sunday Times. Sarah Jossel, who's now on GMTV. And all of those were the people I talked to. And they are great because you go to them and they go, okay, what's in this product? What's the formulation? What's it going to do? Who made it? What's the benefit? What's the active ingredient? And that's what you wanted. And as it moved towards digital, lots of those women moved forward in their careers, which is right and proper. And what magazines did was take the opportunity to take the women underneath and pull them through, but not many of them. They took it as a moment to cut jobs. So then it all became about what looked good on the page. So by that, I mean, if you've got, for the sake of argument, if you've got a white page like that and you get a white product like this, you can't see it on the page. So if you've got a client who's got a white bottle, you're having trouble. Whereas if you've got a client with a coloured product, it stands on the page. So it started to moving towards less about what the product did, more about the colour theme of the page. And then, of course, in came the does a celebrity use it? And then it again wasn't about what the product could do. It was about does a celebrity use it? So I found that real struggle. And I didn't really understand social. I haven't really understood social until the last 5 years. So I'm really slow in the catch up. Then there was a major brand, an absolutely international world-class brand, and they reinvented their anti-aging range. And when they reinvented it, they chose as the face of it a 19-year-old woman. And I think most of us in the beauty industry were pretty appalled. And if I told you the brand and I told you the name, you would remember the campaign. And that was pretty kind of, that's not cool. That's not cool. You're really not seeing us. And so that was me starting to fall out of love with PR because I thought I just don't have those values. Then a couple of things happened to me. So I started hitting the menopause. I started getting real anxiety. I couldn't leave the house. And bear in mind, I'm 60 now. So this is about 10 years ago when it wasn't discussed as much. I had real anxiety leaving the house. And I started having flooding. So as soon as I get on the train, if I started my period, I would have to call whoever I was going to meet and say, I'm so sorry, I'm ill, I have to go home. And they would go, oh my goodness, that's so awful. And I'd go, yes, I've just been sick. And I'd lie about the reason. And I'd get home and I'd feel utterly miserable that my day had been ruined. And, if you've ever worked with the press, you know how hard it is to set up those press appointments. And to phone them and say, I can't come, they just go, oh, no, that's fine, because it frees up their day. But it's really hard to rebook those appointments. So that was a real challenge. And then the third thing that happened to me in midlife was, and this really surprised me, because as a working mum, as my kids went through all the milestones, I was kind of boom, haven't killed them. They've got to school. I've got to secondary school. I've got them to
Yeah.
college, got them to university. And then my first son left home to go to college in America, which is something I wanted, but I knew he would pretty much not come back after that. So that was a tough one. And then my eldest son, and this is a really tough one, you'll like this. He came home one weekend and he said, oh, he'd been away with some friends and it was my birthday weekend. We'd had a beautiful time. We'd been to my favourite beach. It was just fabulous. And he turned around to me and he said, Mum, I'm thinking of moving out of home. And I said, oh, great, darling, when? And you brace yourself for those moments, they're coming. And he said, in the next hour. And so I was kind of, I
Oh my
fixed
God.
the smile, like, come on, darling, let's get your stuff packed. And as he went out the front door, I took to my bed and I didn't get up for 2 weeks. I was so low, so low. And if my husband hadn't dragged me out of bed and he took me to see the guy where we met on a course, Severine, he took me to that. And if I hadn't done that course, I don't think I'd been saved. I genuinely don't think I'd have been saved. And it was only when I came out of that, I thought, wow, that was a real journey. And then people started talking about the menopause. And I thought, do you know what?
Mm.
I've lost my career as a PI because I couldn't do that anymore. I really wasn't doing much. And I thought, well, what do I know? And towards the end of my PR career, I'd started creating reader offers for the Sunday Times, You Magazine, Daily Mail, Daily Telegraph, Sunday Telegraph, all of them. And I thought, well, I know how to put those beauty offers together, which are great value for women. And I know that we want great value. And I know what midlife women want. I know what they're going to go through. I know how their skin is going to change. So what I want them to do is have something for them. I don't want to say, here's a product that's generic for everyone in a catch-all situation. I wanted to come out really proud and say, this is for us. There's not much on the market. There's just for us. This is for us. And I looked at all the other beauty subscription boxes and they were all kind of stuff in a box. And I don't say that to be horrible. I just say it didn't hang together in a theme. It wasn't really for us. There might have been glitter stuff in it, glitter nail varnishes, glitter pens, not really possibly what we want in midlife. And so that's why I thought, right, this is going to be it. And it's not just going to do beauty products. We're going to talk about the whole thing about being midlife. We're going to talk about how to drive forward, all of that kind of stuff. So that's how I started it. In part, I also wrote this, which was my manifesto for midlife, because I thought, if you're struggling, I want women to find a way forward, because midlife isn't just about the menopause. There's so many other things that go on. I remember one of my worst times was when I had to take my children to school, do my day's job, and then get in the car, drive to my mum 3 hours away, pick her up, take her to see my dad in hospital a further hour away, come back, drop her off, come home, eat, sleep, repeat. And that was tough. And so you've got all these changes with your parents, all these changes with your hormones, all these changes with your skin, your changes with your life, how people perceive you. All of that's going on in midlife. It's not just menopause. And I wanted women to know that. And that's why I do what I do.
Such an amazing story. Wow, I've known you for about 10 years now, and
Yeah.
I didn't know about the whole story behind the box. So it's amazing. It makes total sense.
It does, and it gets easier as it goes on, because when we got Davina McCall doing so much on the menopause, and I think that's great. And you've got Davina Taylor talking so much about nutrition for midlife women as well, and yourself, of course. You've got all these people in this space talking about it and exercise, and it makes you realize it's not just menopause in these years. Other things happen to us, and I think it's really important that we acknowledge them, and also where we want the rest of our life to go.
That's exactly where I want to go. So thank you for bringing the subject. How does the concept of time plays a role in the curation and experience of your boxes?
Do you know what? It can go any way you want, because for me, midlife is a real thing. There's a real pivot that comes on your mind, which has nothing to do with menopause. Actually, that's not true. It's not totally not, because you realize that your childbearing years are done. And you come to terms with that. You'll never have another child. I'll never have another child. And you come to terms with that. And you come to terms with how people perceive you. And then you come to terms with, what do I want to do with these years? I've faffed around and I've worried about people's opinions, and I've worried about how I looked, and I've worried about not speaking out when something I think is blatantly wrong, because I'm worried about what the repercussions might be on that. And I think as time moves forward, you really get a sense of, it's now or never. Say it now, or do it now, or don't. Because what you don't want to do is get to your last few years and think, I wish I had. And that is one of my big things in my book. I want everyone to start living their dreams now, however big or however small. And that does mean change. That does mean change in these years. And some people aren't comfortable with that. But I think, you've just got the choices. You've just got to have the choices and make them conscious choices.
So beautifully put. Can you elaborate on the selection process for your clinically proven products,
Yes.
including in your box? And
Yes.
basically, what criteria also do you consider when choosing among all the products available?
Do you know, there's an evolving process. So there's a couple of things I do. First of all, I've taken the time over the last few years. So I started the box in 2019. So it's fairly new. I really try and connect with my audience. What do they want? And actually, it's something that when I was younger, I was really scared of asking because you don't want to hear the answers. I'd never ask clients, what do you think of my PR service? How can I improve? Because I was really terrified of what they'd say. But I've learned to really embrace that. I mean, what's there to be scared of? People telling you how to improve your business. I mean, that can only be a good thing. So I've really learned to embrace that. And I always ask my subscribers, what do you want? What do you like? What are your key beauty challenges? And, a couple of things come back. Fine lines and wrinkles come back all the time. And I think I try to strike a balance between we have to embrace them because they're coming and how to minimize them if it's a pain point for you. Because the whole point of the box is to give midlife women confidence. If I can help one woman feel slightly more confident as she goes out the door, then my job's done. Because we shouldn't be worrying about this. We should be just worrying about enjoying life and embracing life. But if you're going somewhere and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I seem to look really tired today, or, for me, the fat pads under my eyes they've gone. And the way to bring them back is something I don't want to do. It's probably surgery, probably, lifting all that up. I don't want to do that. So therefore, I've got to find a way to mitigate it. So I'm not even thinking about it when I'm out and about, if that is my pain point. And not everyone feels this way. And I get that. So this box only works for you if you do feel that way. But what we do know about skin is that as you go through menopause, for women, your hormones change. Whether or not you're on HRT, your hormones will still change. And what happens is your collagen and elastin, which have been holding your skin up and making it really plump and lovely, go, do you know what? I think we're done. I think our work's done here. So your collagen and elastin internally start dying. Is dying the right word? Do you know what I mean? It starts decreasing. And so therefore, the lines and the wrinkles start coming a bit more. Plus, you've got the topical pollution and UVA, UVB coming on your skin, which just because of, we're getting older, we've had more years of that potential damage. So your skin starts moving in different ways. Nothing good happens as you get older to your skin. Nothing good. Your eyes start sinking back in the sockets. Your teeth start going backwards. Your teeth yellow more. So there's loads of different things that happen. And what I try and do is find little solutions with quite a lot of humour to help you enjoy products. And the reason I do this product, so if I just show you this box, so this is the February box, and it's got these 4 products in, and this is the eye, neck, and lip box, because those were key pain points that a lot of people said. Lips start getting thinner. I've got these vertical lines that are coming. I put a lovely hand cream in because I wanted to remind people to use hand cream and to massage it into cuticles. You then got a neck cream. You then got something to depuff your eyes. These products are worth, let me get it right, £123. I sell them at $39.99. Now, the other thing I want to do, because I'm an ex-PR, I know that when a journalist says, oh my goodness, sake of argument, this product is amazing, is it? What they're saying is it really worked for my skin. And your skin is different to my skin. So if I go, oh my gosh, this really worked for my skin, how do you know it worked for your skin? And if this product is quite expensive, so if we take this one, this neck cream, this is £56 at retail. That's a big investment. Whereas if you buy it as part of the box, it comes out about £6. So to test it and to see if it works for you it's a much easier buy-in. And if it doesn't work for you, you can go, I lost £6, not I lost £56. And you will find products that you love and products that really work for you. So that's the other reason I do it. I know that the skincare we possibly used in our 30s will not work for us in our 40s, 50s, 60s. So we need to switch it up, but to what? And so I'm trying to help people find the products that work for them. I always choose reputable products. I always choose products that pass all the qualifications that they need to be sold on the UK market. I always put in products that have got at least 12 months life in the box. So you're not buying old stock, if that makes sense. Quite often it's made for me. So I'm just very lucky that so many brands work with me. So that's kind of the process that I go through. That was quite a long answer, wasn't it, Severine?
Yeah, but that's very reassuring because you never know. I mean, I don't know anything about the box subscription model. So that's actually one question I was wondering, how do you get the product? Are they, special upcoming product or old product? And you've answered all my questions. So thank you so, so much. Share
We
some,
can
I
never
mean,
use old.
yeah, no. You've made that really clear. So it's great. Thank you. You said you started in 2019. So it's been about 4 years now, or come to 4 years. Can you share some success stories or feedback that you got from your subscribers who have seen some positive results from using the products in your boxes?
Yeah, I mean, I get it almost every day. Well, there's a couple of things I do, Severine. So I came at this from a point when I was pretty low. And actually, I've now got to the point where nothing really touches me because I can never be that low again. No one can say anything as bad as I said to myself during that time. So nothing really touches me. But so on Saturdays, I send out a newsletter as well that's just talking about midlife, and it's trying to be positive, it's trying to be upbeat, it's trying to. I mean, the one I've got coming up this week, it's about losing parts of yourself, leaving parts of yourself behind to grow. So for me, that means things like you'll enjoy this one. So I now have a breakfast called the Sludge, and the Sludge is a shake full of all those, you name it, it's in there: collagen, protein powder, berries, linseed, mint, kefir, MCT oil. It's all in there. It's not my favourite, if I'm brutally honest, but I feel really well on it. So I've left behind the me that wants egg, bacon, toast, and you have to put those things aside. And I see that from a lot of subscribers. A lot of them say how much they enjoy those newsletters, but also a lot of them say, I tried this product and oh my gosh, it really worked for me. The one we're getting a really big reaction to from the February box, which is the one I'm showing you, which is this, which is an eye cream. And eye creams do different things. So one eye cream does not do the same as another eye cream. And this one is all about depuffing. So it's a gel eye cream. So it's very water based, which is good for our skin. And so it just helps depuff the eyes. And I've had so many people say it's great. I've also had so many people say this hand cream is amazing, because to find a really intense hand cream that's not greasy, quite challenging. So I get different reactions all the time. And I get a lot of women say to me how much it's helped them. They enjoy the humour of the whole thing, because I try and be a little bit funny on it. Whether I succeed, I don't know. I try and be funny. I try and make it not quite so scary to try beauty, not quite so serious. I try to make it playful. And I think it does help them feel they can try it. And if you look at my lipstick today, it's a bright red. And occasionally, about once a year, I'll put in a really bright colour, because quite a few women say I wear a neutral shade to my skin tone most of the time. And yet bright colours can look really great, but so many of us don't feel we have permission to wear it. And so sometimes it's just me saying, you can wear it. You can wear eyeliner. You can wear false lashes, that they try. And actually they find out that it does look really quite good on them. So it's the permission thing as well. Just someone on their side saying, you can do this.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I'm actually one of those person who do not dare to try all that. I have to say as well, I react to products quite heavily. Even the recommended by dermatologist and hypoallergenic and all that is just incredible. As I'm aging, I become even less tolerant to things. So that's good to know. How do you stay updated on the latest advancements in skincare technology and trends? Because I know there is quite a lot happening. I've got all these ads, on Instagram, and I'm like, wow, there is so much happening for midlife and anti-aging and all that. And it sounds amazing. How do you get to know all these? I mean, that used to be your career, to know about all these products and then these brands, and obviously you have the contacts. But how do you know which one to choose and I mean to try to choose and to add to your box?
You have to be curious. So there's a couple of things I do. The biggest beauty show in the world is coming up in March this year. It's March every year in Bologna, and it's called Cosmoprof. If anyone knows the NEC and the size of the halls at the NEC, there are about 20 of those halls, and it's a 4 or 5 day event. And I go every year, and there are different zones, of course. So I look at the companies there, and then there's an ingredient zone, so you can see all the new ingredients that are coming out. You can see the packaging zone, so you can see the kind of packaging people are creating. So I don't know if you've seen this. People are creating mirrors that will look at your skin in the morning, and then there's a pump system next to it which will mix the formula of what it thinks your skin needs, and then you pump that out into a shot and you put it on your skin, and that is the perfect thing. Because so many of us, this is the other thing, so many of us just wake up in the morning and we go, that's my, I've got this pot, I've got to use this pot up. But sometimes your skin is saying to you, do you know what? You went a little bit heavy last night on the sugar, or you went a little bit heavy last night on lack of sleep. You actually need this. And so there's all these kind of technologies coming out, which are just fantastic fun. They're fun and enjoyable, and it makes you think. And I encourage everyone to look at their skin in the morning and not just apply stuff. Look at it and see what your skin is saying. And first of all, you can't really tell. You go, well, I don't really understand. But you will after time. Keep looking, you'll see your skin is telling you what it needs. And so that's how you do it. So you go to the shows. You also keep very current. I talk to a lot of people in the industry. I talk to a lot of industry leaders, a lot of industry voices. There's an amazing company called Product Guru who does it's like speed dating with brands. So I know when I build a box, I'll put a hero product in that everyone's heard of. So for the sake of argument, next month we've got Bobbi Brown in the box. And it's a fantastic product and I love it, absolutely love it. But around that, I'll build Discover. So everyone knows Bobbi Brown, they understand that, but they're going to try other brands. So I go to these things at Product Guru and it's a day and I will see 20 to 30 brands. I will have 8 minutes with each and I'll talk to them about what they're doing. And that's so interesting. If you're only talking to the big brands, you're not learning. You're not learning. You're learning what they want you to know. But if you're talking to the smaller brands, you can see how they're developing, what they're choosing to do. There's so much more natural products coming through that are really fantastic. That's a huge thing that's going to come forward. People want simple formulations.
Absolutely. And I'm so impressed about this mirror. I saw on YouTube that in South Korea, they have like special salons where that's what they do. You know, they take a picture and then they analyze and then they 3D and then they mix and match. And I'm like, wow, this is incredible. Do you think we'll have such a salon in the future in London or in the UK? Or is it just like...
I think you'll have it in your home. I genuinely think you'll have it in your home. I mean, if you think about LED face masks, those red light face masks, they used to be the premise of salons only. And I remember my facialist many years ago, she was yellow light, she was blue light, she was a bit of red light, a bit of green light, and I thought it was just woo-woo. But, it's totally proven. And LED red light is so good for midlife women, so good.
Yeah.
I think all of these things will come into our homes. It's just a question of time.
And budget, perhaps. Because it's kind of easy to have a LED face mask because it's like one product, one investment. But, these mirrors, when they mix and match different creams, you don't necessarily have the full range of whatever you need. And also the creams do expire, if I remember well. Every 6 months, you need to throw away the packs.
I think it depends. I assume what they're going to do is something like airless technology, so there's no air getting in. And if I think about it, most of those products will then last 12 months. So I think it would be an airless thing. Who knows? It's just fascinating. But that's why I like going, because when you go over to this show in Bologna, if you go into the China Hall, International Hall, you will see some amazing technology coming through. Absolutely incredible.
And we're very lucky that you're bringing everything back to the UK. Honestly, I'm so grateful.
Try to. And also I'm going to do a load of filming over there because I think it's really interesting. So the other thing is I'm going to be launching my own skincare range at the end of the year, but I'm going to do really unusual products. So I'm not going to do cleanse, tone, moisturizer because you've got those. I'm going to do much more unusual products. And I want the subscribers and my followers to come on the journey because it's very rare you can actually see how these things unfold. And so I want you to come on the journey and maybe even pick the packaging and things like that. I just think it'll be so much fun.
That's amazing. Actually, that was my next question. What are your future plans for TOYL? And can you share a bit more about, this range that you're creating, or is it still top secret?
No, it's not top secret. Well, it's secret to me. So there's a couple of things I'm doing this year, which I'm really excited about. The first one is I've literally just finished an online course covering everything about midlife beauty. So it covers everything from dermal fillers to home face equipment to brows, hair. Should you go grey? Should you not go grey? What products are right? Hair tools, varicose veins, every beauty thing that might come your way is in this course. And I, Delphine, started this 2 years ago. I thought it would take me 3 months. It's taken me 2 years. And I've interviewed so many experts. So I've interviewed professors on varicose veins, Harley Street skin experts, so many people, trichologists from Philip Kingsley, all of them talking about how things happen in the skin, how things happen in hair, how things happen in our body, and how we can overcome that. So I'm really excited about that. So that's launching. I've then got a slightly unusual product. So I've created advent calendars for some of the major companies out there, and beauty advent calendars, and they come out kind of September, and they're all pre-bought, and it's a massive market, really crowded. And I hated doing it, absolutely hated it, because if you hadn't sold them all by December the 1st, the product was dead. You can't resell it the next year. You've got to have a different thing next year. So it was a real challenge, and they were all quite small sizes. So I had thought, Severine, I thought, right, what's another thing that really excites us? And I thought, our holidays really excite us. So I'm launching in April a beauty calendar, which is 7 days, and it's called Off on Holes. And you start it a week before you go on holiday, and you open the first door, and there's a product it's probably an exfoliator, that first product. So it's a body exfoliator to get your body all kind of lovely and smooth and beautiful. And then the products just unfold as products you can take with you, or products that you would use before, but they're all sizes that will go in your travel luggage, so your hand luggage. They're all vegan, they're all cruelty free, and the box is completely recyclable, no plastic free. And I'm quite excited about that, to see how that does as well. So that, and then later this year, my range is going to start launching. So we're going to start launching that about November. It's just those products that I don't think are on the market. For example, Severine, you and I both know SPF should be on your face. And so SPF is a huge must for midlife women, because it stops sun damage, and sun damage can cause fine lines and wrinkles. So if you want to use products that repair, that's fine, but you need to protect as well. So we're using SPF. However, we put the SPF on, then we apply our makeup, as you and I have both done today, and then they say, oh, your SPF should be reapplied in 2-3 hours time. You think, well, how does that work? Because I've set my makeup, I've fixed it. So one of the products I'm coming up with is an SPF spray that will go over the top of your makeup. So you just use your skin. It's going to hydrate your skin, because we know that hydration is really good for your skin during the day, internally and externally, because your moisturizer is a humectant, so it's going to hold the moisture in. Again, and what does that do? It makes you look less dehydrated and lined and all the rest of it. So it's going to hydrate your skin as well as protect, without giving it a white cast. So you won't know. It'll be transparent, so you won't know that you've got SPF. Unusual.
That sounds so incredible. I'm so excited for you, and I can't wait to see those two products.
All the products I made. Can midlife women use these products? Yes. Can younger women use them? Yes. So it's got things in it like a vegan bright pink nail polish, which, midlife women might not want on their fingers. I would, but they might well want it on their toes. So it's just those kind of holiday colours in there. There's an ultrasun SPF in there. There's Philip Kingsley Swim Cap, which is a product you put on your hair before you go swimming, just to keep your hair hydrated. But it's completely ocean friendly. So it's just really lovely products like that in there.
So you said, and it comes out in April.
Out in April. I'll send, when it comes out, Severine, I'll send you one.
Ooh, thank you so much. Before we wrap up, is there anything specific you would like to add or share?
Right, so I created this beauty box, and this is the February box, and we are at www.toyl.co.uk. It's called TOYL because it means time of your life, and it was named that. Honestly, Sabrina, I didn't think the box would take off like it has, and it was named for my mum, because when she hit midlife, she went, "Oh, it's that time of life," and that's all that was said. And a bottle of evening primrose oil appeared on the windowsill. That was it. Nothing more was said about the menopause or the challenges of it. So I'd like people, just have a look at it and see what you think of it. We do this box, which is the original box. This is monthly. You can buy it as a one-off. So it's $49.99 as a one-off. If you just want to try it and you don't want any commitment. If you do subscribe, I thought, well, as a midlife woman, I know what I want. I don't want a contract. I want to be able to pause it. I want to see the contents before I decide if I'm going to pause it. So you can do all of that with our box. You see the contents. You get 36 hours then to pause it if it's not for you. No problem with that. I can do it via email, or you can do it in your own account. And so you can take as many boxes as you want a year, because I don't want product sat on your shelves that you're not going to use. What's the point in that? There's no point. So we've got that. There's £10 off as a code, which is SAVE10, SAVE10, save 10, number 10. If you do want to subscribe or try the box as a one-off. And we also do a box called Evolve, which is a quarterly box, which is either $59.99 as a one-off purchase or $49.99 as a subscription. And the difference with that is that tackles big issues. So it tackles things like hydration, sagging. I know none of this is glamorous. Hyperpigmentation. And we don't even say fine lines, it's lines and wrinkles. And if you think as TOYL as a home, the monthly box as a home consultant, Evolve is more like the ambulance is on its way. So it depends on what you want. And I just want women to have choices. And it's I say women over 40, but I mean 40, 50, 60, 70. And, it all depends on where your skin is at that time. You can be 70 and have amazing skin. You can be 30 and have really quite lined skin. So it depends for you where your journey is. And if these things mean anything to you, beauty isn't for everyone. I don't say it is. But if you do like it, we're not a bad place to start in midlife.
Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing the inspiring story behind TOYL and your incredible vision for the future. And to our viewers, make sure to check out TOYL, which the details will be in the description, for an exclusive beauty experience catered to the time of your life. If you enjoyed this interview, perhaps you'll enjoy this one here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest interview.